So just as I promised, I'm bringing you the review for the iPad. So we're going to start first with the Magic Keyboard for the 12.9 inches iPad Pro. So this box comes in, and we'll just look at basically things that come in the box. Nothing much, just your leaflets, how to set it up, and the wrapper. So we're going to take that off right away, and let's get down to the iPads themselves. So now we're going to be looking at the 12.9-inch iPad Pro from 2021, the one with the mini LED screen. I actually did the unboxing, and the iPad mini. So basically these two devices are companions of each other, and to be honest, I really love the iPad mini. So we're going to do look around on how they both look. The case on the iPad mini, it's not the official Apple case, but it's close to it. But the Magic Keyboard you see on the 12.9 iPad Pro, that's basically from definitely from Apple actually, and that's what you get when you get it from Apple. So looking around, looks clean, setup is fine. I think I actually like the build quality, and it gives you this laptop vibes basically when you have the Magic Keyboard. So we're going to be looking at a setup that comes with both the iPads and the MacBooks. So why I'm doing this is just to tell you how the Apple ecosystem, they actually come together to give you the best of experiences. So now if you look at the MacBook screen, that is the arrangement in which I have all the iPads to the side of the MacBook. So basically what I'm going to be doing, it's called the continuity mode, or the universal control rather. So I'm going to be using the keyboard on my MacBook to control both iPads, type on them. So it's more or less like from just one device, I could actually control all my other devices. So we're looking at the iPad Pro first. You can see I'm controlling it with the keyboard and the trackpad from the MacBook. So I could open apps and go straight down to the iPad mini, and still I could actually do basically the same thing, control anything, type in notes. So basically it just gives you that continuity feel, and you don't necessarily need an extra screen or a dual screen monitor at this point. So we're going to be looking at just the setup between the both iPads, because basically we're doing a review for the iPads. And if you look at this setup, you're going to see that we could still do basically the same thing now with the Magic Keyboard. So from the Magic Keyboard on the iPad Pro, I could control the iPad mini, type in details, do basically everything I would do like it's connected directly to the iPad mini. So now let's take a deep look at the iPads themselves. Really great devices, great companion devices. The iPad Pro definitely has a very fluid screen, as you could see. It has the 120Hz display, and it's mini LED, so it's pretty close to LED. For the iPad mini, for a 60Hz screen, it's pretty smooth, but definitely nowhere close to what you get from the iPad Pro. The iPad Pro is just on another level. As you could see, it was pretty smooth, like that's the slickest display. I had the iPhone 13 Pro, but it was never that smooth when it comes to the 120Hz. So now we're going to just do some basic operation on both iPads. As you could see, I opened up an app on the iPad Pro, and I could actually continue on the iPad mini. So basically that just tells you how much the Apple ecosystem has built. I could actually continue my work. I started on one device, on the other device without any issue. Everything just simply works. So we're going to try out some multitasking thing. So this is called the floating screen. So this just basically floats one more app besides the main app you're using, and I'm going to go for the major multitasking menu now, where we could have split screens. If, as you must have noticed, I'm actually running on the beta OSs, that's iPad OS 16 and the Mac OS, I think Ventura. That's for the MacBook. So I'm actually a beta tester, so I test a lot of these things. So basically, this is what you get when it comes to multitasking on the iPads. So nothing really much. You could actually do basic work. Students should be good with the iPad, and there's a feature coming on which is called Center Stage, which is only available for the M1 iPads. So that be the 11 inches iPad or the 12.9, but it has to be an M1 processor, and that's also available on your MacBooks. It's called Center Stage, so basically it gives you floating windows multitasking on the iPad, and you could actually resize these windows. This is the first time Apple is doing this, but for general consumers, you have to wait till it's released by September. That's the iPadOS 16. So we're going to try out the pen function for the iPads. So I'm going to be starting with the mini because that's really where it is. So if you double tap on the pen, it switches between the eraser and the pen point. You could actually set that up the way you want it. I set it up to switch between the last used pen point and what's it called, and my eraser. So if you can see, it's pretty smooth. For the mini, I don't really use the pen except I'm basically signing in documents, and yeah, it comes in really handy. But jotting down things, I have come to actually use the mini pen when I'm at work for jotting down a whole lot of things. But outside that, my personal use, I don't really make use of the pen apart from signing in documents, which could actually be classified still as will I say an office mode. So if you could look down you if you look down, you can see the complete menu, and the write-up is pretty smooth. So the first pinpoint I picked, this basically anything you write down, it recognizes your handwriting and switches it to text for you. So it just basically helps you write pretty fast and picks it up as a text. And converts it. So if you're, let's say you're in a conference, you're writing down things with your hands, it comes out and you could copy that and put it in a Word document without any stress. So basically the pain points on the Apple Pencil 2, they are actually pressure sensitive. So the harder you press on them, the thicker the colors will be, unlike the crayon point. And also if you use this pinpoint I selected, you could actually, anything you draw on it, clip it, hold it, and move it around. And I could actually move that around to basically any other app. I could move it to the let's say Messenger app and send just that point that has been cropped off. So basically that's it. And all this I just mentioned also are available on the iPad Pro. But the thing is that with the keyboard on the iPad Pro, you could do so much more. But I try to actually use my fingers a whole lot because not everybody would want to spend 330 pounds for a keyboard, but nothing short of 330 pounds. So if you swipe in from the left hand side on the iPad, any of the iPad, basically it takes a screenshot of what's on your screen. You can notate it, write in something and send it to your colleague. So let's say you're working on a document, you could actually swipe in from the left hand side, write up something on the documents, share it with your colleague, and your colleague replies you. And just like on the iPad mini, you could actually double tap to switch between different controls. And also if you swipe in from the right hand edge, that brings up the quick notes like we saw earlier on the iPad mini. So basically we're just going to try out some typing things and let's see. So basically typing on the Magic Keyboard is very, very smooth. And to be honest with you, I think Apple did a fantastic job. The only thing I have with the Magic Keyboard is that if it's not connected to the iPad, it can't be used. Like it doesn't have its own battery, it doesn't have Bluetooth. So basically, it's an iPad accessory. So I can't use this Magic Keyboard for any other device. But when it comes to build quality and what it's made for, then they are second to none and they're the best options you could ever get while using the iPad. So I'm not going to round up. We have pretty great devices, fantastic screen on both of them, but nothing beats the 120 Hz mini LED on the iPad Pro. And this is the 12.9 inches. The 11 inches doesn't come with mini LED. And you could basically do all that. So I would just say keep watching, subscribe,